Hey everybody, thanks for coming to my channel again. In this video, we're going to change this script so that instead of just making planets that look exactly the same, it's going to make them so that they look somewhat different from one another. And the somewhat means that you can make them look entirely different if you want, or not that different at all if you want. That's up to you. So let's start by adding something to the script. Let's add public material array set of possible materials. Okay. And then in here, when we create the planet, let's pick one of the materials and set it to that material. Change material of planet. Alright. So the planet is go.getComponent renderer dot material equals, then we have to pick one of these materials, so set of possible materials at, and then we give it a random number here. Random dot value or int, or let's see, what options do we have here? Random dot range should work. Okay, random dot range will work. Random dot range between 0 and set of possible materials dot length. Now let's see, the set of possible materials dot length, if it's 5, then this will be between 0 and 5, but if the length is 5, then the last index will be 4, so that should be -1. Okay, now let's see about this. So we would have to, in the generator, go fill in the materials set. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I've got a bunch of materials set up, and hopefully from video 2 or 3, I think number 3, you set up several different materials for your different planets. Well, you can drag those in here now. So I'm going to pick some of the ones that I had set up from other projects. Let's see. And drag it right onto that label right there. Now let's see what that looks like. Yeah, they're all different. Cool. So that worked, and they all rotate at different speeds. Excellent. Alright, now let's make it bigger. How many planets? 9. Let's zoom out a bit. And hit go again. Sweet. Bunch of different colors and planets. Alright. Now, a couple other things to do. Let's go back to the script, and let's make them a random size as well. So not only change the material, but change the size of the planet. Go.transform.scale, local scale, equals new vector 3. Actually, let's go random.insideUnitSphere. That gives us between -1 and 1 for all 3 x, y, and z values. But we don't really want between -1 and 1. We want between 1 and 4. So let's say +3, which should give us, +2, which will give us between 2 and 4, I believe. So let's try that. 2f. Okay, so there was an error here, because you can't add a float to a vector 3 because it doesn't know what to do with that. It doesn't know, what do you want to add it to the x value or the y value or the z value or all 3 or what? But you can multiply a float by a vector 3, and you can add 2 vector 3's together. So if you take this vector 3 that's built in called vector 3.1, you can multiply that by 2. And that gives you a vector 3 of 2 for an x, 2 for a y, and 2 for a z. And you can add that to any other vector 3. Now let's see if that worked. Yeah, now they're different sizes. Cool. Okay. And let's do the same thing with orbit distance. So that's here, I plus 1. And then here if we go get a random value and divide it by 2, that'll give us between 0 and 0.5. And then we add 0.5 to that. And that'll give us between 0.5 and 1. And then one more thing to do is make this same exact calculation with a slightly different randomness to the z direction too, which will place them at a different starting position. And I got to fix something. Let's see. Probably, let's see, random value. Okay, this needs an F. There we go. So now they've started in a number of different possible random x and z positions. They are all different scales. It looks like they're not even circles anymore because it picked a random different direction for every one of them. And I think I can fix that in a minute. But it's working pretty good, and it's looking like a really different kind of orbit now. I like that a lot better. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video, we'll fix that scale thing because I scaled it in every different direction. We'll fix it so it scales it just the same way in all directions. And we'll also add a really cool looking sort of vapor trail behind each planet. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.